Well, Danny, 2 frustrating defeats last week, but it's important we get back to winning ways tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the current situation, is you haven't really got time to ponder past results too much, because the next games come thick and fast. So we're up against a Barnet side that they're desperate for a win, and I think that Tim's been adding strength to his squad, and you know that at some point they're going to get one, and we've just got to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure that's not tomorrow.
Because we speak about consistency on a regular basis as well, we want to make sure that we're not the ones, like you say, that give them that win after a long while rather than the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the pitch now. Actually, it's not in very good shape. It's not going to be a pretty game tomorrow, and we've got to make sure we're up for it. And I was disappointed with Saturday in a lot of ways, because I thought from a performance perspective, like we said earlier, I'm still scratching my head a little bit about it, because we were really good for large parts of Saturday, but we've got to do that nasty stuff a little bit better, and make sure that when we're playing against a team like Barnet, we know what it's going to be. They're going to literally ram the ball down our throats for 90 minutes, and we've got to make sure we're up for that fight and still have our sort of input on the game when we've got the ball.
Because playing back at home as well, it's important that your home form is good if you want to have a successful season in the National League.
Yeah, look, I think, well, if it's not, you've got to be better away from home. It's whatever it is. I mean, it's different at the minute with the pitches and fans and stuff, because I think everyone's struggling to maintain the surface and whatnot with the lack of funds available. And you look at across even the Premier League, the Championship, League One and League Two, the standard of the pitches are nowhere near what they used to be, and I think that's where clubs have tried to be sensible with their spending, and we're no different, and that out there is nowhere near what we would expect of an Aldershot Town pitch, despite the good work and the hard work that the ground staff are putting in. It just is what it is. And obviously we've had a lot of rain, but I think from a home perspective, it's just a case of, I'm not really worried where we get our wins from, to be honest, because if the fans are in, it's different, but they're not. So we just need to make sure that we're winning games wherever we can win them. And obviously the fact that tomorrow's game coincides with a home game, obviously, yeah, we do want to improve that home form.
And with a quick turnaround of games, obviously more injuries are likely to appear as well. We've had a few positive returns of players as well. Trained today, we've had a few who maybe have to sit out for a few weeks.
Yeah, well, look, we've got a few kind of injured lads that are on their way back, but they're not going to be available in February. We're not going to see them till early March at best. So, and we've got a few out, and we are down to. We're not as dramatic as bare bones, because obviously we can field a squad of players, but the options that are available to us are very limited. What we've got is what will be available, and that's all we can do. We're going to try and do our best to work the market if we can, but anything that comes our way is going to have to be free, because we can't afford to bring anyone in. And
looking at Barnet, like we spoke about, they've made a few signs since we were meant to play them. How does that change your preparation for the game?
Massive. Listen, I'll make no bones about it. We were really keen to get the game on against them first time, because they had a suspension, they had injuries, they hadn't had time to bring any new players in, and it was probably, if you're going to play them, it's probably the best time to play them. Unfortunately, both sides ended up with some COVID issues, and it wasn't meant to be. But look, I don't think this team, if they're focused, if they're in the right frame of mind, if they're competitive, I don't think they need to fear anybody. But they've got to be those three things, and once we've sort of let them out of the dressing room and we let them cross that white line, then the ball, pardon the pun, but the ball's firmly in their court, and they've got to do what they need to do. And for the most part this season, we've been quite good at that. Frustrating Saturday, we're poor against Weymouth, disappointing against Weymouth, but look, it's a fresh game, it's a new start, and let's see what happens.
Because looking at Weymouth as well, Barnet as well, they were in the playoffs last season, so to see them struggling a little bit lower than down, perhaps they're surprised about that.
They've still got really good players, and I think that anyway, a bit like the Weymouth, when Weymouth come here, because of their league position, anyone assumes we're just going to turn up here tomorrow and get 3 points because Barnet are bottom of the league. They're deluded, because they've got some really good players, 4 or 5 of which that we tried to talk about signing in the summer, because we rate them highly. They're all still there and they're fit to play. Add that to the signings they made, and the fact that every day that goes past, Tim can put his philosophy in place. They're going to get better, and they're going to win games, and they're going to be competitive. And as I said, we need to make sure we're at our very best again. and like every week, because otherwise you'll get turned over.
So as you mentioned, it's about focusing on us and what we do on the pitch rather than who they have and what they bring in.
Yeah, we make silly mistakes and they in the grand scheme of things, when you break them down, when you do the analysis from Saturday's game, they don't look that big a mistake. But when you see what the ramifications have as it goes down the pitch, they're big errors, and they're errors that shouldn't be being made at this level. And that's not about consistency or ability, it's about intelligence, and just when a ball's there to be put back into danger, put it back in. Don't be clever, don't try and be something that you're not. We've got a clear philosophy on what we want to do. Everyone can clearly see that we like to play, but we have to balance that with the other side of the game as well, and we had opportunities to do that on Saturday and we didn't do it.
And looking at Barnet's last game, obviously a disappointing defeat for them against Torquay at home, but Torquay top of the league at the minute, it's a tough place to build teams play.
Yeah, and they gave them a run for their money, and that's what I'm saying. Like Torquay, well, they are factually the best side in the league. They're top and clear top. So if you're causing them problems, you're going to cause all teams problems, and that's what we've got to deal with tomorrow night.
Are you in with a shot? More information below. Click here for the next video, click here to subscribe.